Get football updates directly to your inbox plus subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Could not subscribe. Try again later. Invalid email. Have you ever wanted to see inside a luxurious apartment block that Premier League stars like Pep Guardiola and his players call home? City Suites on Chapel Street may look like just another gleaming high-rise block appearing on the city's skyline, but inside it's an extraordinary proposition. Luxury serviced apartments where you can rent rooms like a hotel, or stay for months at a time and make yourself at home. Report the Manchester Evening News. There's a swimming pool and jacuzzi, and a state-of-the-art gym that are only accessed by residents of the apartment block. Situated on the edge of Deansgate and Chapel Street, it's also centrally located for all of Manchester's wealth of designer shops and drinking and dining destinations. Since opening in February, it has racked up a succession of rave reviews, which makes it the #1 rated apart hotel in the region on TripAdvisor. Image. Manchester Evening News. It also grabbed the headlines after Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola chose to set up home here, opting for city centre living rather than heading out into the leafy footballer belt of Cheshire's Golden Triangle. And adding the cherry to the cake, later this year will be the arrival of a Michelin-starred chef too. The site for Tim Allen has just been confirmed to take over the building's restaurant space on the ground floor. Their own kitchens, with oven, microwave, dishwasher, fridge, freezer, washer and coffee machine, as well as a spacious living room area. Image. Manchester Evening News. You can rent the apartments for any length of time from 4 nights upwards, with bosses saying the average stay is around 3 weeks. But there are also 2 floors of privately owned apartments where it is understood Pep and some of his star players, David Silva and Gabriel Jesus, have been photographed at the apartments are based. It is one of the new breed of apartment hotels in the city centre, giving business travelers needing to stay in the city a little longer than a few days more living space and more home comforts than a regular hotel room. Image. Manchester Evening News. Indeed, the way the prices are structured, your room's nightly rate becomes cheaper the longer you choose to stay. So for example, a signature studio apartment would cost $118 a night for any stay from 4 nights up to a month. Over a month up to 3 months, it drops to $109 a night, right down to $76 a night if you book for 12 months or more. The signature 2-bed apartment starts from $225 a night based on a 7-night stay. Image. Manchester Evening News. I checked in to give it a whirl and was whisked up to the 15th floor to my 1-bedroom apartment for my stay. Walking along the corridor, my shoes squelch into the luxurious shag-piled carpet, and the first thing that hits you are the views. There are floor-to-ceiling windows at either end of the corridor looking out onto Manchester on one side, Salford on the other. Once inside my room, the views are even more splendid from the huge windows looking out across the city centre towards Manchester Cathedral and over to Chetham's, in both the living room and dining room areas as well as in the separate bedroom. Image. Manchester Evening News. The interiors are sleek and modern, and there are all mod cons you could possibly need in the kitchen. There's loads of wardrobe space in the bedroom, where I'm pleased to see there's plenty of space to walk around the king-size bed too. The hotel's operations director Gavin Bailey offers to give me a tour of the facilities, and he greets everyone we meet around the hotel as if they're a long-lost friend. It's not like a hotel, he says. We're trying to make it more special. This is effectively your home during your stay, and we run it that way. Image. Manchester Evening News. We have people here for 4 nights, but then we also have people here who are staying for 12 months. It might be someone on a work assignment here, or a theater production company here who were here for 3 months. We have TV people, Sports people. You might recognize people walking around the building, but we try to run it as though this is your space. Ah yes, the famous guests. No one wants to speak about who specifically is living there, but the official line from the company is, "We have a number of VIPs that live with us, and as such we respect their privacy." Image. Manchester Evening News. Sadly, despite my best snooping efforts during my stay, I don't bump into anyone famous. I even spend an inordinate amount of time doing actual exercise in the City Suites gym, but still, not a whiff of a Premier League footballer or manager of the month in my presence. After a long swim, alone, in the relaxing pool area, I dry myself off and feel ready for some breakfast. And this, for me, is the only downside to City Suites, as there is no food and drink offering currently on site. Which is a bit of a pain when you get the munchies first thing in the morning and have forgotten to stock up your kitchen ready for a fry-up. Image. Manchester Evening News. I asked the super-friendly reception lady where she would suggest to go for the nearest cooked breakfast, and she prints me out a list of their recommendations. But they're all more than a 10-minute walk away. And given it's raining, I decide to slope next door to the new Sainsbury's local for a pan au raisin. But the food and drink side of things is soon to get something of a perk up, with news of Michelin star-winning chef Tim Allen now on board to create his own restaurant in the corner of the building. Image. Manchester Evening News. The plans are still at an early stage, but I'm told they hope to start work by the end of the year for a spring launch for the new restaurant from Tim, who previously worked as executive chef at the Michelin star-rated Wild Rabbit in Oxfordshire. The hotel is owned by Select Property Group, who also run the Vita developments of student accommodation in the city. And this is their first City Suites model, but it doesn't sound like it will be the last. September was their busiest month since opening, running at almost 100% occupancy thanks to a mixture of business including an influx of guests in town for the Tory Party conference. Image. Manchester Evening News. And bosses are already eyeing another site for the concept in the Manchester area, as well as Birmingham, Edinburgh, Bristol, London and Dubai. Gavin says, "We wanted to create something different in the marketplace, and it is something that's talked about more and more in the city. Every review you read, people talk about this location. It's a hidden gem as it were, but we are right at the heart of the city. At the tip of Deansgate where the bars and restaurants are. We're right opposite Harvey Nichols and Selfridges, and so close to Victoria Station." Image. Reuters. Currently Manchester is 11% serviced apartments, but industry experts think that it will soon go to the same level as Australia, where there's a 50-50 split between serviced apartments and hotel rooms. People want the option to cook for themselves, wash their own clothes, feel a bit more at home.